My sweet and lovely Geminis, this is your horoscope for December, and I'm extremely sorry. It was a technical glitch. I thought that all my horoscopes for all 12 signs are up on my YouTube, but thanks to my subscribers who mentioned to me, who wrote to me a lot that there is no Gemini December horoscope on my YouTube channel. So sorry. Okay. Anyhow, sorry, December. Yeah, December is just started, and let me briefly tell you about this new moon, which happened 1st December in your seventh house. Now, seventh house is all about partnerships in marriage or in business with whom we sign contract, like we sign papers. And you know, those of you who are born 30th of May were most likely affected with this new moon, plus or minus 5 days. Now, this new moon is a new energy, right? There is something new happening in your seventh house. It might be that a lot of Gemini decided to upgrade their relationships, to propose or to get married even around like December marriage, December wedding sort of, or vice versa. You know, you might have decided that this relationship won't last, or you want something else, like some other qualities in your one and only, and that's why you're gonna break up with the with someone with whom you dated for long. It's not the ones who are like just sort of started dating, because seventh house is all those people who were in our life for a long time, like partners that we've dated for a long time, or in marriage actually. So in this case could be divorce. Now, new moon will have harsh angle from Saturn, and Saturn is our strict teacher, and it will be in your status, social status house. So here exactly your social status as a married man or a woman, or a single man or single woman will be questioned. So either, both of them. So could be depending on your situation in your life, either divorce, either marriage, like either deepening or separating. And Saturn will also send beams to Jupiter, new moon's ruler, which will be in your first house. Also not good vibrations there, and not good energies. Saturn will challenge actually energy of Jupiter, your luck. Meaning, because Jupiter is a planet of luck and happiness and abundance, and it's transiting your house now, a lot of Geminis. And it might actually mean, in case of divorce, don't be sad, because in this case, Jupiter is bringing you a gift of liberating, actually becoming better self. Planets, they act in a way that they make space for something better, some new version of yourself, the better version of yourself. And for that, you need to sort of let go of people, of things, of situations. And in your case, it could be your spouse, as an example. Or if you say it's not about that, and then it's about business. Could be, let's say, you're quitting your job, as an example, like you're leaving your company, or vice versa, because it's a new energy and there is an opportunity aspect also. It could be that there is sort of new job offer on the table, but then that job offer will require a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, heavy ones, and also a lot of work hours. Sort of, you will need to here a little bit check whether you agree with the terms of this job or position that is being offered. And is it like going against your values, or like together, more or less? So depending on your situation, again here, try to decide for yourself. And it seems like December will make you to decide this. Jupiter in our house, it's a bit like overshadowing. It's competing with Sun, and your Sun is Gemini. So here, your more true self is seeing light. You should perceive it in that way. Better to do that. Then it will be easier for you to come, to terms with this new moon energy, and in general, Jupiter in your house, bringing all the luck in your life. But in general, it could be also that your ex might come back, as there is a new moon energy, but Jupiter is retrograding, and it's a ruler of your seventh house, those ex-partners house. It could be that your ex-lover might come back into your life, or you might again contact your ex-husband or wife. Now, Mars will be, sending amazing beams to that new moon, will be supporting that from your third house. And Mars is ruler of your houses of wishes. Seems like if it's related to work, that contract will be signed. That paper will be signed because, Mars is in your signing contract house. Now, for some of you guys, it might be a situation of your brother or sister, because Mars is in your siblings' house too. So it could be all that I mentioned. It's not about you, then it might be about your sister's situation, or brothers, if you have them, like siblings, or relatives. Alternatively, could be neighbors also. Now, the main, also one of the reasons here of breaking up could be money reasons, because Saturn rules your finances, especially shared finances, like contributions from both people into this union's budget, let's say. And if there was something not going well, then this new moon can bring that topic up, and it could be one of the reasons as well why you're breaking up, or actually vice versa, like why you're getting together, because for the reason of, like, let's say, easing your life spendings. So if you unite your budget, then it becomes easier, as an example. Now, 7th December, Mars will go retrograde, my dear Geminis. Mars is planet of action, it's a passion, it's desire, and it goes to retrograde almost for 3 months in your third house until 24th of February. Now, ever since your ruler Mercury went retrograde back in November, it started all this plethora of retrogrades. It started all this sort of action from personal planets. Now, personal planets are those who are directly affecting us, like events, situations, through people. And those personal planets are Jupiter, not Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. And Mercury is already retrograding, and Mars will go retrograde on 7th of December. Then it goes like, and also Jupiter is retrograde currently too. And Venus also will retrograde, and all these things will happen overlapping each other, this retrograde period, up until mid-April 2025. So for first 4 months of 2025 sort of will be sleeping time, sort of will be a reflecting time. It might be that even like there will be something happening on the world, in the world, so that quite a lot of people, like masses of people, could be thinking what to do next. Because looking at these personal planets going into sleep motion, seems like everyone will have sort of confusion time, what to do next and where to go, with whom to go, sort of this kind of things, And whatever you have on your mind as like projects, business, it's also advisable actually to postpone and push it until summer, 2025 as a start date, as a like launching date, or after April, my dear Geminis. Now, I will talk about this personal planets retrograde in your yearly horoscope, which is upcoming soon. Stay tuned. This time I won't forget you guys. Now, I will talk about those retrogrades there, but let's come back to Mars retrograde here. Now, Mars is ruler of your 11th house. It's a house of wishes, it's a house of desires and plans. It's a future house, and it seems like you are thinking, like ever since Mars went into your third house, you are actively thinking and envisioning actually what kind of future you want, what kind of plans you want to pursue and have courage on to pursue. Its third house is a house of bravery, where we brave, to take up some steps, like to take up some courses, driving lessons, or any other lessons, so that we upgrade, we get closer to our dreams and to our plans. And it was firing up all this desire, to learn new things, to communicate, and it was buzzing actually your inner circle, meaning those people with whom you communicate daily, like neighbors, relatives, like close friends. All those people were quite active in your life ever since Mars entered your third house, which means back in November. And here, it's now going into sleep. It's now retrograding, meaning moving backwards until 24th of February. And all these things sort of freezing, sort of if you like experience a drop of motivation, no worries on that. You will bring it on as soon as Mars goes direct, and it will actually go direct. It will stay in your third house for a long time until summer. So it seems like you will still have that opportunity to sign paper, or to take up that course and like trainings, lessons, or in general, Mars in third house gives us this passion and like, no matter what, to make that step, sort of that the courage. It gives us a lot of passion to do things. Now, third house is also about, as I said, siblings, relatives. If it's not like sort of, there could be some a lot of actions around your siblings if you have them, like in their life could be a lot of going on, so that you will take part as well there. Now for some of you it might be about transportation, like selling car, buying car, all these things. And it seems like ever since Mars came into your third house, it might be that you've been thinking to buy a car or purchase or sell it actually, or I don't know, exchange something. So here until June even 2025, you will have this topic in your life. It might be that you will be choosing a lot while Mars retrograde in your third house. I won't advise you to buy any car or transportation, any type of transportation. So after February, better to do after February, all these things related to transportation. Or maybe you'll be fixing, actually your car might need some sort of maintenance or some checkups. I don't know, some things might come up around your transportation here. And it's also short distance travels house, third house. And here Mars gives you like back and forth sort of movement to some place specifically. And it could be that you will be traveling a lot around this time, but somewhere very near, like under 2 hours max, maybe by car or by plane. And it could actually last until the end of February. Also, Mars rules your 11th house. Now 11th house is also house of social media, online, internet house, and also house of popularity. And it's in your third house. Now third house is also about communication, languages, the style we speak, how we speak, and all these things, like what we listen, our thoughts, our topics of what we talk, like ideas also. And here it might be that you will be busy with your sort of communication project. It might be social media project that you want to launch. But again, guys, postpone it until end of February. Better to do that, because it's in your social media house. And it seems like you might end up actually deciding opening your social media page around March only, after like 24th of February, because Mars goes into sleep and some things might be stuck, or you might also sort of for a time lose passion, let's say, or maybe like have no ideas. There is could be too, but after 24th of February everything will go better actually, and Mars will give you this courage to pursue your dreams, my dear Geminis. 7th of December, Venus, planet of love and beauty, will move into your ninth house. The ninth house is all about travel, is all about education, is all about foreign things, like foreign people, foreign documents, for everything related to foreign, and languages. And as soon as Venus goes into your ninth house, it will meet Pluto. Now, Pluto is in your ninth house for the next 10 years, 20 years. And all the planets that will go into your ninth house will be meeting Pluto. But here, Venus is first. But they also met in your ninth house once in the beginning of February, like around 17th of February 2024, in the beginning of this year. So you might recall back, to February, like to the beginning of this year, 2024, what was going on in your life, because that might happen again if something or someone was going on. Like you might meet the same person and that person might be speaking a different language, as an example. Or it could be your kids coming to your attention. If something was going on around your kids, like children, like for example their education, or some sort of episode from from their life, like school life or college life, or something was going on there related to your kids, that thing might come back again as a topic, right? Like around 7th of December, when Venus meets up with Pluto again in your ninth house. Now, business might also bring foreign clients and results. This could also happen if you've been trying to bring some client like in the beginning of 2024, but then for some reason you stop, or something was stuck, or you've been all this time trying to convince and showcasing your business, and I don't know, going to some campaigns or to some making presentations, and now that client might actually sign that paper, might actually agree, and again you might sit on the table of communication. It could be that too. Now, and in general, ninth house is a travel house. As I said, you might travel back to the place, or if it's not the same place, it might be just a same distance, like very far, somewhere very far, where you need to fly more than, I don't know, 5 to 6 hours, even more. because ninth house is far lands house, and about that business thing, whoever is that, or it might be client or a project that I gave an example. Those are just examples. You might translate it into your life, specific into your situation. Now, it could be anything related to business, but whatever comes in back, that will come with big money, because Pluto and Venus, they are money planets, especially Pluto. Pluto is a big money planet, my dear Geminis. 8th of December, we have Neptune going direct in your 10th house. Now, and Neptune rules your 10th house. Now, Neptune is a slow-moving planet. It's a karmic planet. These kind of planets, they affect us subconsciously, more on our subconscious level, spiritual level, and it acts as a background noise in our head. That tape all the time on, sort of this, but time to time popping up into our conscious mind, sometimes giving us some ideas, flashbacks, daydreaming, this kind of thing. Yeah, but not all the time we're thinking about this, but it's always there. It's always in our mind. So this kind of. Now, ever since Neptune went retrograde in your 10th house since July 2024. So if you're interested about this Neptune retrograde, go back to your July forecast, where I spoke a lot about that. But now Neptune, after 5 months of retrograding in your 10th house, going direct. Now, those projects that were frozen at your, let's say, career, or some career moves that you were thinking to make, now will have a good timing to finally pursue that career, or that career move or position, or whatever is that. But that thing will be either position, either new job, could come actually with a lot of reputation, because 10th house is the highest house of our chart, and it's about reputation. It's about influence. You will have like quite a lot of influence in your hand. And those projects that were frozen, or work that was frozen, or career that you wanted to go after back in July but stopped for some reason, for any reason, like now we'll have perfect sort of grounding to finally move further, finally move. And Neptune also, in your 10th house, it might be also about your father. If you say there was nothing going on around my job, around my career, then it might be about your father, because 10th house is our father figure, or someone who we respect and obey, like our managers, boss. And if something was going on in their life since July for the last 5 months, that thing finally moved forward. Now, 15th of December, we have full moon. Now, full moon is in your first house, my dear Geminis, at 23 degrees, meaning those of you who are born 13th of June, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this full moon. And full moon, it's all about conclusion, or putting a spotlight into a situation or person in your life. Now, full moon will be a bit foggy, because Neptune will be very active during this full moon. And Neptune connected to fog, something will not be so clear as a situation. Something will be like missing or confusing. Now, it's happening in your first house. This is an amazing one, because some things you are ready to finally show yourself. Like full moon is like putting a spotlight on you, because it's first house. It's a house of me, and how do I look? Like maybe you want to change your appearance, like plastic surgeries as an example, and you might finally sort of decide here at this full moon which kind of specialist, which kind of doctor to go with, for example, to choose, or where to make this plastic surgery, or haircut, simple haircut, for example, for the upcoming new year, right? Or it might be like about your style, like maybe fashion, whatever is related to your appearance could come at this full moon, because it's also like showing to the whole world, because Neptune will be in your 10th house, and some of you guys might actually receive some titles or nominations or some prizes, because it will give you quite a lot of influence in your hand as well, this full moon, because Neptune in your 10th house. Now, Neptune is all, the 10th house is all about high status, is all about influence, there's a reputation also here. And that's why it might be around those topics too, like a new job offer also could be here. And you will finally say, oh yes, this is my time to shine. And I got this finally like position of a CEO or manager. I got this like a high status and sort of that. Now, full moon, because it's ending, some part of your of yourself might also you might shed actually some part, like as a snake, shed their skin. So it seems like you might let go finally of some things. in your mind specifically. It might be related to your social status, like if you're married, if you're not married, or if you're employed and not employed, this kind of social status that we like name a sort of statuses. It might be one or two about exactly your situation. You might come to like sort of peace, come to terms with that, your social status, as an example. Now, your ruler, Mercury, and of course, ruler of the full moon, will receive amazing beam from Mars. Now, Mercury is transiting your seventh house, is the house of love, true love, house of committed relationships, house of a committed relationship in business too. And here, if it's related to work or career or business, that contract will be signed and you will be extremely happy, seems like, my dear Gemini. So you might get that, you might finally grasp, that position of your dreamed position or dreamed work or job offer, whatever is that related to your career might come, and you might sign the paper finally. And Mercury and Mars will help you, because both of them, they're retrograding. It might be that that offer was long ago on the table, but you somehow missed it. Or this is your second chance. Like universe seems like giving you second chance around your work, around your career, or your actually appearance too. Also about your love life. Seems like if it's about love life, like a committed partner, like let's say you've dated for a long time, like I don't know, 5 to 10 years with some person, but then you broke up and it's been a while, and that person might come back. And you see, like universe might give you a second chance here. So something is going on at this full moon, but perceive it as your second chance, my dear Geminis. And I'm happy for you guys, because you deserve it, and you need to grasp this opportunity from universe. Now, 15th of December, your ruler, Mercury, goes direct finally in your seventh house. Now, Mercury is all about communication, signing contracts, trade, and commerce also. And we need it sharp to make agreements, to sign papers, to agree, on terms, to make business, to make commerce and trade. And finally, it's going direct after retrograding since November, meaning it's waking up, but it needs a little bit time to regain its speed and its power. So up until January, better not to do anything crazy around, let's say, your appearance too. Now, because then you might regret, or you might just, sort of not like the result. Well, if you're interested about this, your ruler going retrograde, I made a whole separate video on my channel. Go check on that. What was going on when Mercury was retrograding. I gave a lot of tips there. So you might want to check that one, what to do and what not to do. Now, Mercury going direct in your seventh house. Finally, ex-lovers will stop texting, especially those ones that you, let's say, wouldn't want to come back into your life. And, Mercury in the seventh house, when it goes direct, it might actually open up your eyes to the situation. For example, while it was retrograding, your husband or wife, you again communicated, let's say you again connected sort of. But after Mercury goes direct, you might sort of realize again why you had divorce, for example, or broke up if it's a long-term partnerships. You might realize again, sort of, there will be again sort of that sense, oh, now I understand why we actually broke up. This kind of thing might happen. Now, seventh house is also about business partnerships. You're finally, if something was stuck, like if something was problematical, like especially some papers, signing papers, or some clause like missing, or this contract was somehow wrong, or some details were not right there and not correct. So it might finally stop and finally move forward. Now, also seventh house is all about, legal things like lawsuits. For example, if you are in a lawsuit, it can also give you, let's say, if you've been busy reissuing or reapplying or resubmitting some papers in your favor to the court, the Mercury here might finally give you green light, on your case, like on resolution, and it could go much faster when Mercury goes direct. And lastly, I would like to tell you about this sweet new moon that is happening on 30th of December, almost on New Year's Eve, and it's, gift from universe, a gift from 2024 as a goodbye gift and welcome gift of 2025. It's such an amazing new moon that I can't wait to tell you all about. It's happening in your eighth house. Now, eighth house is all about finances. Now, especially like shared finances, budget. Like if you are married, then it's your budget. Like, or if you're in a long-term relationship, again, couple budget. Or if you're a student, then it's about your scholarship. If you're in divorce, then it's about alimony for your kids or for yourself. Or if it's like, whatever money that comes from other people into your pocket, or other government, like governmental money, for example, from banks as a loan, for example, credit or mortgage, or some other financial institution like giving you some business funding, or investments also here, inheritance, also your eighth house. It's all about this kind of. Now this new moon is sugar sweet, my dear Geminis, sort of gift, and it's happening at 9 degrees, meaning those of you who are born 30th of May plus or minus 5 days will be affected the most. I'm so happy for you guys, because Saturn, planet of construction, also responsibilities and limitations, will make perfect support to that new moon from your 10th house. Now 10th house is all about career, is all about social status. It might be that you will receive an inheritance which will add up to your reputation or to your social status. Like let's say you will receive a huge house as an inheritance, as an example, and you move in now, and consequently your reputation sort of and your social status will rise, right, in front of other people's eyes, as an example. Now, also Saturn is ruler of this new moon in your eighth house, so it's supporting it greatly. It might be that for some Geminis, it might be news about scholarship, like they are adding up some scholarship for you because of your great grades at the university or at school or at some project, as an example. Or you might receive a news that that let's say the settlement, if you're divorcing, as an example, again, if you're divorcing, that settlement is sort of in your favor. Whatever you wanted, you got it. This kind of news might come in, when you're dividing the property between you and now soon to be your ex-husband or ex-wife. Or you might receive that something like finally you are receiving as a money, as a fund, like some investment. So for example, if you're a business owner, then if you've been waiting for some news around the finances of some projects, new businesses, or like making it bigger, your businesses, then you might, at this new moon, you might find perfect news and also find perfect investor. If you've been searching, this new moon might bring, new moon is new energy, might bring you a new investor into your business as an like partner, business partner. Alternatively, you might receive that you've been approved for a loan. Let's say if you're buying a house or something like a car and you've applied for a loan or mortgage, whatever is that, like related to banks, that you take money from them. So you might be granted around this new moon. But if you do so, just so you know that with Saturn here, seems like it will give you quite a lot of heavy task to repay that to the bank. And it might be for a long time, just so you know, like for some years, because Saturn is a planet of responsibilities, and it's sort of a strict teacher, and it might teach you, it might, tell you right from the beginning that that loan will be hard to repay, but still it's possible to repay. Sort of this kind of thing. Now, it's eighth house. It's also about, conception. Like it's a mystical house. So conception, like conceiving a baby, and also fertility journey is totally like a mysterious thing. And that's why it's in your eighth house. Now, those of you, my dear Geminis, who've been trying or wishing to get pregnant or having a baby, no matter which way, even like non-traditional way, like adopting, you might receive great news around this new moon. Either that you're pregnant, either you might welcome already your baby, like a new family member around this new moon, sort of a new surprise for you to start this new year with a new family member, like your baby, as an example. Or it could be that your IVF, like in vitro journey, got successful. You might receive from your doctor very positive news too here, because Saturn will be supporting that, procedures as well. Now, eighth house is also a house of healing. It's a house of health. If you've been bugged or somehow concerned around your health about something, whatever is that, then this new moon might give you amazing relief, amazing news that your, results from analysis, like medical checkup, came up very clean, as an example, very positive, and no need to be worried around that. anymore. Or it might bring you healing, like magically, mystically. If you've been suffering from some sort of disease, then this new moon might give you new opportunity to life, new sense of healthy, body and mind. So happy. Now, eighth house is also about, intimacy. It's about our sex life too. And here, it seems like there might be some sort of a new, how to say, experience, because new moon is a new energy. You might experience sort of some intimacy, which might, give you sort of this kind of thoughts that you would want to keep that intimacy in your life on a, let's say, more on a social level status, like to get married, or to, let's say, to keep that person in your life. I hope I'm making sense, my dear Geminis. Now, for a long time, to enjoy that intimacy a long time and daily in your life. So for that, you need to work on your relationship, right? That's what I meant. Now, this was your horoscope for December. And never forget, my dear Geminis, to check your rising sign and moon sign too, because rising sign, most of the times, it's important, the most influential. But for some people, it might be sun sign or moon sign, depending on the time when you're born and place. Now, you check all three and you get to compare which one is affecting you the most, the strongest. And stay tuned for your yearly horoscope 2025. It will be very soon on my channel. And I wish you amazing holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, my dear Geminis. Love you all. Bye bye.